to yet another episode of Talking Point. My name is Ritika, and on this show, we give you a sneak peek into the lives of successful individuals. Our guest today is the cluster head of ZQ and Z Khana Khazana. But that's not all. He's also an avid photographer and a food enthusiast. Today, we're going to see a very different side of Mr. Subhadarshi Tripathy. Thank you so much, Mr. Tripathy, for actually being on the show here today.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Firstly, tell us your journey as a media professional in the industry.
I've come into media in a very unconventional way. Born in a family of teachers, I was born and brought up in a small town regional engineering college campus. Father used to work there, and then, of course, nobody in the family was into media. Or maybe nobody is still now into media in the whole family. So, of course, I was one of the rebel kids and was into music, playing for the college band. Though academically things were quite okay, but eventually I wanted to get into something where I could express myself completely and explore my creative side of life. And thankfully had a set of parents who supported that, and they wanted me to do whatever I felt that I could succeed in, and hence the journey began after doing my graduation in mathematics. I started off, I got into an entrance exam, and way back in 95-96 I got into an institute called the ZEEL Institute of Creative Arts. So my association with ZEEL has been almost 20 years now, because I studied there, and I studied for 3 long years, and I studied classical animation. That's what I started off my career with, the hand-drawn animation. We were taught by people from Soyuz Multfilm, Russia, and from NID in India. The institute was set up by Dr. Subhash Chandra and professors from NID. Professor I.S. Mathur, he was the founding member of the institute. During the course of learning animation, I met my wife there. So she also is a fellow animator. Okay. And of course, post that, there was a stint with Kingfisher. That's where I worked for some time. Doing the design bit, I was working on the designs, the new portals that they were coming up with. Post that, I joined ZEEL, and it's been a long journey. There has been a small stint in between with India TV, that's a news channel, for about a couple of years. And I was the COO of a group of studios ranging from Manila to LA, and they were into motion graphics, gaming, and stuff like that. So, of course, in this stint, I'm entering the 7th year with ZEEL, and I take care of a cluster which is the pay TV cluster, which has channels for kids and for food. That's the journey, if I can put it in that way. It's been long, 20 years, so that's the way I would like to put it.
Absolutely, it's been a long, inspiring journey. What kind of changes have you seen in the media industry for over the last decade or so? In terms of how has it evolved from your perspective?
Well, I mean, the major difference is people with talent are accepted for their talent right now. You don't really have to be trained in FTII or NID, or your certificate, your formal education doesn't matter anymore. You have the talent, you can do it. A. B, with the explosion of internet as a medium to express your content is phenomenal. I mean, look at us. We have a 10 feet by 10 feet room, and where there are 3 cam setups are possible, and the content goes out on the net. Things have changed for good, for sure. That's the major difference that I see from the beginning till now, and the way to come probably.
Nice. Which part of your job do you enjoy the most?
Well, I'm a creative guy. That's how I would like to see myself. So obviously, content is something that I enjoy the most. Looking out for content which is going to fit in for my audience. The most enjoyable part is the fact that we produce or we acquire content and we put it on the platform, which can affect millions of homes or millions of people in one go. It's quite fulfilling.
Tell me, sir, what is your management style like? You're at a very senior position. What is your relationship with your employees?
I spend half of my day with them and the other half with my family. So there's no style as such. Honestly, I've had opportunity to work with some of the best managers during my career. My firm belief is trust in everybody, trust in talent, and trust people, trust your team. Of course, while selection, I do put a lot of stress on selecting the right candidate. And work with them, then trust them fully. The biggest thing that I've learned is it's okay to make mistakes. The trouble is when you repeat them. So that's the way I run the show.
What's that one advice you will give someone who is taking on a leadership role?
A leadership role would mean that you're out there to make bigger mistakes than your colleagues.
Absolutely.
Or people who are reporting into you. Being a risk taker and being ready to do mistakes is something which should be at the forefront. Somebody has to be ready for it, and don't repeat them. Don't repeat the same mistakes.
Absolutely. When you're not working, how do you relax?
So there are three very important things in my life. So I click photography, I listen to music, and I eat a lot. You can see that. So food, music, and photography are my three holding things. And then my relaxation is, I think, primarily when I go out and click. It's like meditation for me. I'm completely involved in that. Or it's music. So mostly these two are the things that I relax. And honestly, the kind of job I'm in, it's 100% relaxing job. It's brilliant. I run a children channel and I run a food channel. What better could be for a job? I mean, you come into office and you figure out, okay, what are you going to show to the kids that they are going to get entertained, or what kind of new cuisines are we going to explore, or who are the new chefs in the market? How are you going to? So, I mean, it's extremely relaxing. You can take it other way. You can get into the GRP and the TRP bit and the money bit. Of course, that's part of the life, but that also can be extremely relaxing. I thoroughly enjoy what I do. So for me, anything off the job is photography and music, and on the job, I mean, it's fun, honestly.
Tell us about your love for photography. When did you first develop that interest?
My father used to click, and I've got memories of going through albums which were not of our family members. So that was quite amusing as a kid when you go through an album clicked by your father, and you don't see many of your family members in it. You see streets, you see monuments, you see other people, and then you wonder what are these, and then you grew up with it. Of course, that thing stayed with me from my childhood. Then I got trained in animation. So what happens in animation, the course that we did was animation filmmaking. So the course was about filmmaking, about storytelling, and the medium was taught to us was animation. So we were primarily storytellers. And of course, when you get into storytelling through this medium, you have to understand photography. So part of it was photography. there were a lot of friends, classmates, and faculties who were into photography very seriously. Of course, it used to be analog those days. It used to be film cameras. So my first camera was a Zenith camera, which is a Russian-made, a large, fairly large, a brick-sized camera. And once I picked it up, I kept clicking. So I haven't probably stopped ever since.
Okay. Tell me something. Out of all the photo collections you have, which is your favorite one and why?
So there are a couple of them which I like, and there are reasons behind it. When you actually put them, take a print out of them, and put them all together, they might not just jump up as some of the best photographs technically, but it's that moment in which I click which is very close to me. So there's a picture of a Buddhist monk. I follow the Tibetan Buddhism very closely. The visual elements in Tibetan Buddhism is something which appeals to me quite a lot. And Bhutan is, of course, my most favorite place in the whole world to go and click. So there was this one time in Bhutan where it had just snowed and the sun had just come out. The sky was clearing and the snow had started melting. So there were water droplets falling, and there was this monk with whom I had struck a conversation with. He was standing a floor above, and then there was this sudden urge of pointing to him and clicking. That particular moment is very abstract. I probably won't be able to put it into words, but it's a very abstract form. It's like, why do you like Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan's music? You won't have words for it. You can only say that, oh, you know what, I put my earplugs and when I listen to him, or a Def Leppard or a Pink Floyd, and I'm taken into a different realm, I'm taken into a different world. So that's exactly what had happened, and that photograph is very close to me.
Are you a very spiritual person?
I have my daily dose of conversation with him. Okay. So I do have my conversation.
Because when you're taking a photograph, it's almost like connecting.
Oh yeah, and music as well. And music as well. I mean, if getting into a very peaceful and settled zone is called spiritualism, I'm getting there slowly, and as I'm getting older, I'm getting there. So it's been 40 years of life, but I'm not there yet. But yes, so sometimes while clicking photographs, you feel that. You feel completely disconnected with the audio, the visuals, everything. You are through the viewfinder and you connected to him. So yeah, I mean, my numerous trips to Banaras for both the reasons. My in-laws are from there, so I keep visiting Banaras for a very selfish motive. Now that when they see this, they'll know because I go there to click. So I felt it there. There have been times where I've just taken the camera away and I've tried to absorb whatever is there, and I didn't want to disturb the harmony by just taking a slice out of it through photography. There are times when you don't want to press the button because you feel that if you press the button, it just you're just disturbing the harmony. If it is there, let it be there. And if you're seeing it through a viewfinder, you're again restricting it to a 4:3. You can see so much. You can just take it off. You can swivel around. You can absorb it. And there are things which you need not be a photographer to express. It's about yourself. I live a very selfish life, and it's about me always. My friends always tell me that. That's the way I would put spirituality.
How do you keep focused in life?
I've been seriously blessed with a fantastic set of people around in my life. There is very less negativity amongst all the people that I have around me. Hence, as an inspiration, to begin with, a very cliche, but to begin with my dad, who was a civil engineer and who used to love the students who used to flock into us in our house. My mom, who gave up a possible career to bring us up. My batchmates who were and who are still way superior in terms of creativity, in terms of work, in terms of imagination. Inspiration from my wife, who gave up her career job, everything to bring my kids up. And she's a housewife, and I can't do it. And these are people who had the guts to do it.
Alright, sir. At this stage, if you had to describe your life in one word, what would that be and why?
Blessed. I'm completely blessed to have the parents that I had. My only complaint to God has been He shouldn't have taken them both away within a month, which was about a year and a half, 2 years back. But then, that's how it happened. And quite blessed to have teachers that I've learned from. So, be it Professor Ayas Mathur or Irina Sakyan or Dimant Vyas or Srinivas Bhakta, Prakash Murthy. These are names which are instantly come into my mind, but my teachers have shaped me. Blessed is the way I would like to describe it.
Fantastic. I think I had a lovely time chatting with you, Mr. Tripathy.
Same
Thank
here.
you so much for being on the show here.
Thank you.
And all the best.
Thank you so much.